What is up, you gorgeous, fabulous creatures? Welcome to another week, another episode of the Losing It podcast. You're here with Kylie Pax, Australia's emotional eating coach. This is the safe place where we talk about all things binge eating, emotional eating, overeating, undereating, and all the colors of the rainbow in between, most especially weight loss. While we're doing all this eating, we are also sitting in the background and wanting to lose weight. So, honey, if you are new to joining us, I am so freaking delighted to have you here. Thank you so, so much. Please remember, if you love what you hear and you want to hear more, I would be ever so grateful and sending you all the chocolate coated love in the world if you could leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. That way we are going to reach more people. And of course, if you're like, I'm not leaving no damn review, she can give me more value before I leave her a review. Come on, hit me up over on Insta because I am all up in your stories there. I'll be in your stories all day long, sharing posts with you, dropping little wisdom nuggets left and fucking right. So, honeys, today I wanted to talk a little bit about trauma and trauma eating. And this is something that's been super relevant for me of late, is that most of you, well, you may know if you've listened to the podcast for any length of time, I was sexually assaulted when I was in my teen years and like a young teenager. And yes, that was very traumatic because I didn't tell anybody for about 30 years. I never told a soul. And it was hideous and it probably messed me up for a long amount of time. But I mean, when I say messed me up, I blamed myself. So it really messed my self-esteem. Like I thought I was scum of the earth and disgusting and revolting and vile and just all the things in between. I truly, truly felt that I'd brought this upon myself and, you know, somebody would only do this to a most disgusting, hideous creature. So I don't deserve to live and all those sorts of things. But of course, that's not true. That's how victims of crime often feel. And we don't acknowledge that that's what we are because we're too busy in our own personal self-loathing. So I spent a good majority of my formative years really, really, really hating myself. And of course, you don't hate yourself and treat yourself with love and kindness. You don't hate yourself and show yourself love and respect. No, you hate yourself and you do things that somebody that would hate yourself do, like eat shitty food, not look after myself. I would try and make an effort. Like I would tell myself I'm going to the gym and I'm going to do these great and amazing things. But there was always this underlying tone of self-sabotage behind it. Like I would go to the gym and I would eat really well and do fantastic stuff. But then I would binge eat on the down low and just do things behind the scenes that would fuck up my progress every single time. So on top of that, of course, then I went into a beautiful marriage. When I say beautiful, I'm not being sarcastic. I did go into a beautiful marriage of, I don't know, nearly 20 years. My previous husband and I were together and it was good for most of the time. It was good until it wasn't. And then he had some issues that had to be dealt with and he was very angry and aggressive man. Of course, now we're besties. Everything is totally fine because he's off. He's off to living his best life. He's found himself a beautiful new lady and I think they're engaged. It's amazing. I'm so, so happy for him. Phil and I are together. My former husband and Phil love each other. It's one big happy family. So it's all great. But there was another period of time during those marriage years where, yeah, things were not great. And it was very traumatic and I was very scared. And all of that was resurfacing. Now of late... And this is just life, people. This is not my sob story. This is just life. Now of late, as you know, again, if you've listened to the podcast, I have another individual in my life who just loves to bully, intimidate, frighten the shit out of me. And it's not Phil. It's definitely not Phil. Phil is the kindest, sweetest person. So I am really at the point where I'm in my third lot of, I'm going to call it trauma, even though I don't like to refer to it as that because I feel for me that's disempowering. Somebody else might find that terminology really empowering to embrace it and say, yes, I was traumatized. It wasn't my fault. And I'm like, I'm just not even going to go there because I'm not interested in any longer. I'm not interested in the trauma that did occur. I am only now choosing to look forward because this is the truth. And this is what I want to share with you about the reasons why we do overeat and sabotage when it comes to this type of thing. at this point in your life, unless you are constantly right now listening to this and in the middle of something really traumatic happening, which is unlikely, at this point, all of your past traumas are nothing more than memories. I really want you to take this in. It's not happening right now. You're safe. Oh my God, it's making me want to cry. It's not happening right now. You are safe. Every hideous, cruel, and unfair thing that ever happened to you in your life, it doesn't even exist. It's now only a memory. And the only way it can hurt you now is for you to go back into your archive of bullshittery that has happened to you in your life and relive those memories over and over and over. And that's what I've been doing personally over the last few weeks with this most recent individual in my life. I have been living in the memories of the upset and the trauma and the fear and the anxiety that my body has been triggered in my body. And I've been living there. I have chosen the most recent events are over by several days, but my body is still reacting and very fearful. And why? Because I'm living in the memories. I'm playing the memories over and over and over. And as much as I don't even want to hear what I'm about to say, and if you don't agree with me, then I would love to have a conversation about it because I'm interested in hearing all sides. But at the end of the day, if I am going to choose to continue to live in those memories, then the only person traumatizing me is me. I have now become a victim of myself. And if my food choices are going to be a reflection of that sort of stupidity on my behalf, then I have to take responsibility for that. I only have myself to point the finger at that stage. I haven't been, thankfully for me, I haven't been overeating or crazy binge eating over the last few days, even though in my former really hardcore binge eating life, I would have, because I just would have wanted to shut it out. When I was going through the divorce with my former husband, I was binge eating like crazy because I couldn't. The feelings and the fear and the anxiety was so intense that every single time he walked into the room, because we were stuck living together for, the 12-month period whilst we were sort of liquidating assets and so forth, every time he walked into the room, he never said a word. He would just enter the room and I would get up from wherever I was and walk straight to the pantry and literally just shovel food in my face like a crazy person. I just needed to shut out the fear and the anxiety and the stress and the worry. Now, here we are many years later. I'm not reacting that way anymore, but I have noticed that it is definitely affecting my eating. I'm just getting really tired. I am getting run down and my adrenals are reaching a place where I cannot live this way for too much longer. So I now have to choose, what is the life that I want to live? Now, this is a question that I sent to one of my private clients this morning because every day with private clients, we talk every single day. I send them little nuggets. We have all these amazing convos to keep them accountable, make sure they're on track and getting results. And one of the things that I mentioned today, which was something that I've mentioned multiple times over the span and the course of my years with you all, is that a really great parameter to use for yourself to realign and make sure that you are staying in alignment with the person that you are wanting to be. At the end of the year, the end of 2024 is going to arrive. Eventually, right? We're already halfway there. So it is going to arrive. You're going to be very fucking smart to start thinking now, who do you want to be in 6 months' time? Who do you want to be when that calendar flips over? And I always ask myself, who do I want to be? How do I want to live? And then extrapolate, work backwards. What would I need to do to make that happen? Who do I want to be? Do I want to spend the next 6 months in a state of anxiety, fear, worry, stress, just living in a state of reactivity? Or do I want to take my fucking power back, take the actions that I can take to make myself feel safe, secure, loved? And a lot of that comes down to my self-talk. Am I going to do that and then consistently make sure I'm taking the daily steps towards the person that I want to be? Because I have to decide, who do I want to be? How do I want to live? Do I want to live in a state of fucking anxiety? Do I want to live in a state of constant fear, constant worry, always chasing my tail and never actually taking steps towards the life that I want to be living? Because once you know who you want to be and the type of life that would surround that kind of individual, now it's really fucking easy. Now all you have to ask is, what do you need to do to make that happen? And once again, I always love going back to the basics because it just doesn't get any better than that. What time, if I were living my most exciting, beautiful, peaceful life, what time would I be getting up in the morning? For me right now, it'd probably be 6. I don't know, maybe 6:30 because it's so dark and cold. But I feel best when I get up to before 7 a.m. because I just feel like I've achieved something that's a little bit difficult. First thing, because nobody wants to get out of bed. You know, if you're here in the magical Great Southern Land, if you're here in the land down under, it's fucking cold, really cold. It's not just cold, it's fucking cold, right? Very cold, it's dark, it's hideous at this time of year. So getting your little booty out of bed is going to be a little more challenging than it is when you're in the middle of the summer and life is like a Disney movie and little birds are tweeting outside your window. Even the birds, there's no damn birds tweeting outside my window. The birds are cuddled up in their nest. It is cold. So if I can get my butt out of bed prior to 7 a.m., I've already done something difficult. Now, if I can do that, then I can definitely shuffle my way over to a warm, cozy chair, start doing some journaling, start doing some reading, start affirming in my journal who it is that I intend to be for the day. Start getting excited about things that are already going to be going right today because I've decided up front that they will. I'm not talking about telling the future. I'm simply talking about I will always maintain a positive mindset. I'm so happy and excited today because I'm really looking forward to a positive, happy, exciting, empowering day. Every day just gets better and better for me. I handle everything that comes my way with ease and grace and love and kindness. That's the sort of journaling that I am talking about. So, honeys, every thought that you think is either going to be an investment in your future food choices, or it's going to be a massive fucking ass liability that you're going to have to overcome. If you don't want to find yourself stuffing your face with emotional eating late at night or in the afternoon once you knock off from work, or even first thing in the morning because you've come home really late from a late shift, if you don't want to find yourself in that position, please make sure every thought you think is either an investment in your future self or it's going to be a big ass liability that you're going to have to work to overcome. So, honeys, with that, I just want to remind you that the Healthy Girl Era 30-day challenge is kicking off next Monday, the 1st of July, honey, and it is free for all members inside of F The Scale. If you're not inside of F The Scale yet, you need to shuffle your cute little booty on over there and hit me up over at kyliepax.com/F The Scale. Just go to my website. That is where you will find me, or hit me up over on Insta and I will step you through it and welcome you in with open arms because, my darlings, it is the opportunity of a lifetime. If you want me kicking your booty for 30 days to make sure you get some damn results, and I've got a 4-set video series. They're literally like 2 minutes or less longer for you to watch because I'm not interested in taking up your time with like 10 million years of homework, quote unquote homework. There is a 4-set video series and a journal specifically to step you through my exact process that I use and the one that I will be using again over these next 30 days to make sure that we lose weight, crush emotional eating, stop the self-sabotage, and for God's sake, take control of our cravings and our emotions so that we can start living the life that we know that we damn well deserve and we're worthy of because we've spent a lifetime dreaming about it. Now it is time to cultivate it and bring that shit to life. Honeys, I'm sending you love. I will see you all again next week. Until then, gorgeous ones, bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to shimmy your butt over to kyliepax.com and join me inside of F The Scale so that you can stop emotional eating and start losing your weight now. You'll also find helpful notes and resources inside my past podcasts that will help you lose the weight without the BS. I'll see you next week.